I think we can start. Hey, I'm Chris Best, co-founder, CEO of Substack. I'm joined today by Zach Taylor from the video team.
Hey everyone.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
excited to be here with you, man.
what's the video team building?
What's the video team building? That's a good question. I guess to take a step back, what we've been working towards ever since we rolled out live is we envision a world where your job as a creator should be as simple as having an interesting conversation. That's kind of like what Substack pioneered with our initial text editor and the email newsletter. But for video, that can be a little bit more complicated. And so if your job as a creator, all you should have to worry about is having an interesting conversation. That means Substack Live must be the easiest way for a creator to call up another creator and have an interesting conversation. And the production of the show and the clips that live on after the stream need to be so good that, as you've been saying for a while, Chris, all you have to do is click that publish button. This thing is good enough. I'm going to click that publish button. And what that means is you as a creator should only have to worry about having an interesting conversation, finding other interesting people to talk to, and the product should take care of the rest for you. And so that's what we've been building this past year, and we're going to continue working on next year.
Sweet. Yeah, my joke when recruiting writers in the early days was, "We'll do everything for you except the hard part."
Yeah, except for the hard part. Yeah. I mean, for us, it feels like making the assets really good is hard, but man, it is not as hard as having an interesting conversation. So um, we've learned that building a lot of these features internally, that like when making the clip product, for example, if you're testing on a really interesting stream, that's a little you're making it too easy for the system. You need to test on like the average stream, and if the clips can still be good, then you know you've built something interesting.
Nice. Okay, so we have this vision that says, "Hey, I should be able to show up, have an interesting conversation. I shouldn't have to be a nerd or hire a team of nerds." And it's kind of going to magically turn into all the right media in all the right places. It's a live stream, it's a well edited podcast, it's a series of clips. It gets translated into every language, it gets cut into every format. Um, that's the dream. How far along are we in that vision, and what new things do we have now to talk about?
Yeah, I think we made a lot of progress this year, but I also think we have a massive way to go, and all the advancements in LLMs are helping us get closer to that vision faster. So a few things that I guess to take a zoom back, when we originally rolled out live, it was an easy way for you on your phone to find another creator, invite them, and have a conversation. And you got a screen recording of that conversation that was completely unedited. And you also got a few basic clips that were completely unedited. And so where we're at today is that you can still do the original thing where you find another creator on Substack, you can invite them. Now they can actually join on desktop, which makes the joining experience easier. But the recording and the clips should feel a lot better than they felt a year
They're
ago.
starting to get actually good, which it turns out there's a lot of David's had to do a lot of work. Because the first clips, you get a clip and the start of the clip would be like, um, so anyway, the thing I was gonna say next is, and you just be like, what is this? This is hopeless.
I mean, I remember, yeah, so the original clipping system was just looking for interesting moments in a stream, and it would make a basic clip about that. Now, what David has been leading, and Nathan and a few other members of the team have been helping out with, the system is much more sophisticated. So it's still looking for interesting moments, but then after it finds interesting moments, it makes sure that the hook of that moment is at the beginning. And then after that, the system adds a title card. So if you encounter a clip in your TikTok feed or your YouTube Shorts feed, you know what it's about and are more likely to listen. And then the really cool stuff is the face detection that David has built, where when you're talking, it's zoomed in on you. When I'm talking, it's zoomed in on me. If I'm talking and then you smile or you like get angry or you do YouTube face, it's gonna switch and do a group shot. That stuff is really magical, so that when you get those clips as a creator, you're more, inclined to share them and that they can actually drive you growth. And then today we're in a world where um, it's between like 45 and 50% of creators are sharing at least one clip from their live stream, which is like orders of magnitude better than where we were at the beginning of this year.
And are any of the clips actually working? Are they good? Are they traveling?
Yeah, the clips are working. I mean, in our own Substack feed, clips, the auto-generated clips themselves have already generated over 500,000 subscriptions, which is pretty cool. So it is compounding the network effect. If you look at the creators that share clips, the clips they share are competitive with the notes they post and the video notes that they upload. And then for the folks who've turned on clip sharing to YouTube, we've seen some success there as well. Particularly if those creators have invested in their YouTube account, their clips can travel on other networks too.
Yeah, we've seen some of those things kind of working and racking up views
Yep.
and making the rounds and having those magic hit moments that you kind of dream about.
Yeah, those magic hit moments are special. And you know, I was looking through the data last week, and there's big and small examples. Like, Jim Acosta's is a massive streamer and he'll have a clip that does really well, or Heather Cox Richardson will have a clip that does really well. But what's really special is when you find the examples of a small creator. Like, a few weeks ago, I was looking into this and I found an example of a creator who today has 4,000 free subscribers, and 1,000 of those subscribers came from one clip. Um, and I talked to her about it, and she was like, "Yeah, it's incredible that this one thing that was auto produced and auto shared into the Substack feed got me that much reach." So, will clips always get you reach? No, but if you're saying something interesting and the system does a good job, you have potential to go viral in Substack's feed.
Sweet. I love this from Robin Wilding in the chat. The autogen clips are great. I know people who always wanted to do video, but it was too cumbersome. Now they do it here to push YouTube, and it's amazing. That's kind of what we're going for here, right? It's there's if you want to, if you're a deep video expert or you're able, have the means to build a studio and hire a team and make everything great, there's already a pretty well served ecosystem for you.
Yep.
But if you're somebody who has something to say, who thinks they have something that could be great, but can't kind of like figure out all of that stuff, we want to kind of like give them this magical system that lowers the barrier to at least get started. Talk to me about thumbnails, because I started testing live when we first shipped live, and the original thumbnail algorithm was it would scan the entire video for the least flattering picture of your face, and then it would show that to all of your friends and you as many times as possible. What are we now doing instead of that brilliant system we started with?
Yeah, so the brilliant system we had before was taking a random screen grab from your video
And it
and
should be noted, if you take a random screen grab of a video from you, you are not going to be happy with the
yeah,
way that looks.
you're not going to be happy with the way that looks. So that was the original system. And then this quarter, we set out to make those thumbnails a lot better. And I've already given him a shout out, but he deserves another one. David led this project as well. And we took a lot of inspiration, both looking at what Substack creators who make their own custom thumbnails do, and also looking at successful creators on YouTube who have like pioneered and tested what a good thumbnail is. And so the system now, what it will do is it's looking for a flattering shot of you and me individually in a stream. So there might be a shot where you look good, but I look terrible, and a shot where I look good and you look terrible.
Yeah.
In the old system, it was just the same.
Anybody who's trying to take a family photo knows this effect.
Yeah, right. It's impossible to get all the kids and all the relatives to look good in ones, but we can separate the two video inputs and find a good shot of each person. Then we can make the faces really big, because the faces have to be big for the thumbnail to be compelling. And then based on different moments in the stream, we'll make a couple of captions or titles that we think will grab people's attention and make it more interesting for folks to watch the video. And of course, this is good, on Substack, on your publication site. You're no longer going to have a super ugly thumbnail with like your mouth super open like that. It's also really good in email.
I do think we have to capture a wider range of it. Right now, it's all smiles.
Yeah,
and every individual one looks pretty good. But when you look at a bunch of them together and everybody's just got the biggest smile they've ever had, it creates this very strange hive mind effect.
It would be pretty cool if we created a variety, or we looked for a variety of emotions in thumbnails, and in the thumbnail selector, just let you filter by emotion. Like one was smile, one was like serious, one was a different emotion, and then maybe you could learn like which one you click on the most often, and then just give you those.
But we've gone deep. The net effect is, if you've ever tried to make anything work on YouTube, you quickly realize that the thumbnail is the most important thing.
Yep.
And that YouTube doesn't really help you very much with it. It just says, hey, good luck. Go find something that's going to be interesting. We're now building this automated system that's doing all of this work that a human, photo editor might have had to do. And you don't even have to think about it. I'm going to hit, once we're done this live, I'm going to hit done. I'm going to go get a coffee. It's going to get clipped up. It's going to get thumbnailed up. It's going to get uploaded to YouTube. It's going to go on my Substack. It's going to show up in people's feeds. And if anything that we've said happens to be interesting, the chances that can make it to the person who would find it interesting are greatly increased, because it's just going to happen as if by magic.
Exactly. It's funny. YouTube actually has a slightly different aspect ratio for their videos, but the thumbnail that we send to YouTube is optimized for YouTube if you have the auto upload to YouTube feature on. So if anyone is wondering about that, don't worry, we got you covered.
That's cool. What are some of the things that you've seen happen on Substack Live that either surprised you or that seem interesting?
One of the coolest moments, in my opinion, it's a random day, and then all of a sudden, I start getting a bunch of notifications, and they're all titled Emergency Live. And it's either something crazy has happened in politics, something crazy has happened in sports, something crazy has happened in culture and movies. And now with this feature, Substackers can talk to their audience about it in real time, right? Before, they'd have to compile their thoughts, write up a post, edit it. Maybe it goes out the next day. But today, they can still do that. People still want the in-depth analysis. But today, creators can actually have a conversation with their subscribers in the moment that something is happening. And I think those moments are always really cool. And then to see the clips from those moments are cool. And also, just looking at the data, so many people tune in when there's something crazy happening in the world, and their favorite creators are talking about it in the moment. Like, we'll see people's average viewer count double or triple in those types of moments. So I always think that's really, really cool. I think one of my favorite live streams of all time was Patti Smith playing a record on live video. That was super interesting. And then, politics aside, it's pretty cool that Heather Cox Richardson and a couple other Substackers are interviewing potential presidential candidates. Shows how far the Substack has come over the past 6-7 years.
You think we'll ever have presidential debates here?
We got to, man. I mean, we have to have presidential debates here. We have a few years. It's time to start prepping for that.
I see Catherine in the chat. It's a good idea. All right. So you've been doing test lives. I've seen a lot of, you and David with the phone on the desk kind of thing. This is a real live where there's people in the chat. How is this experience right now? How do you like the product? What are you noticing?
What am I noticing? I thought the invite was really easy. It was nice to be in the preview room with you before, because I was getting a little nervous. So it was good to confirm that, the audio and video was all working and all that was good. I'm enjoying the chat because it's fun to see people contribute. The hearts feel good. I didn't think I would care, but I do care. The hearts feel good.
Don't you wish they were bigger? Wouldn't that feel even better?
Yeah, Lucas did a really good job of making the hearts really big and like fly up nicely on mobile. I think we need to do a better job on desktop, because this is a little bit lame. I'm not going to lie. But man, I just want to see what the thumbnail and the clips look like. That's what I care the most about. So we'll see what that experience is like after getting this recording.
Sweet. Are you going to start a live show on your own Substack? And if so, what is it going to be about, and why should people subscribe?
I am going to start a live show on my Substack. I haven't finalized the topic of the show. I was actually brainstorming
Hey,
ideas.
chat, what should the topic of his show
Yeah,
be?
yeah, chat. I need ideas. All right. I was brainstorming with Rhonda the other day what the show could be about. Um, and I don't think I have a good enough idea yet. But here were a few ideas, none of which are probably very good, that were on my mind. One idea that I thought was kind of interesting was, could I do a live show on Substack interviewing interesting live streamers that aren't currently on Substack? Like people who are big on Twitch or on Discord or on YouTube or some other platform, and get to know them, how the product works, what's working for them, and try to sell them on, trying Substack Live. I think that could maybe be interesting. Another idea I had, one of my favorite parts of the job and working on the live video feature is, especially when we initially rolled it out, it required a fair amount of like tech support, like me explaining to creators how it worked. And I got to know a lot of creators on Substack, and I still talk to them. I got a few Christmas cards this year from creators, and I would love to do a show that's like getting to know, you know, Bill Bishop or something like that, where maybe we're not talking about deep China analysis because I'm not qualified to interview Bill Bishop about that, but I could get to know him, how he's grown his Substack, and what he wants from the product. So those are the two ideas on my mind right now. I know you had another idea for me, which was the life of a PM, which maybe we could do. Maybe we
By
could.
analogy, with all those ZERP PMs that got canceled for posting videos from the pool.
Yeah. It's 10:30 a.m. I'm dipping my toes in the water before joining for my 11 a.m. meeting with the engineering team or whatever. I can't believe people actually did that.
Bill asks, when can I cancel my StreamYard subscription?
When can he? Okay, yeah. Bill and I have talked about this a bit. So, Bill, feel free to chime in on the chat, but I remember a few reasons that you started using StreamYard. One was you wanted to go live from the computer. So now you can go live from the computer on Substack. So I would consider that. I know that beauty filter on StreamYard is really nice. And we currently only have it. The virtual makeup filter, yeah, that's the correct name. We currently only have it on mobile, but we do want to add that on desktop as well. So that should be coming early in January. And I'll let you know when that is out. Are there other features on StreamYard, Bill, that we need to win you back over? Let us know in the chat. Excellent. Okay.
Awesome. Well, everyone subscribe to Zach's Substack. There should be a subscribe button on your screen next to his face, hopefully, or at least somewhere that you can find. Anything else you want to plug while you're here?
What is one of your favorite live video features that we shipped this year?
I would say because we spent a little while getting these clips going.
Yeah, that was a big.
We tried, like, at first we were like, we're not going to build this ourselves. There's a whole bunch of people that are making automatic clipping tools. We'll use one of their APIs. We kind of tried them all out. And for me, there was a moment where we sort of crossed a threshold with we call them speaker mode clips, where it was picking the right moment. It was condensing it a little bit. It was doing some visual cuts back and forth. And for me, there was like a threshold where it went from, this is no good, to, oh, this is starting to be good. And it was still pretty janky in the early days. It was still like, it was nowhere near as good as a talented human video editor would do or anything like that. But for me, there was sort of a qualitative transition where I had this feeling of, oh shit, this is all going to work.
Yeah.
Right. We've had all of this stuff has been based on a theory of the technology's at the point where if we put enough effort into it and we have great people having interesting conversations and we have our own feed where we can test stuff and people can, we can be trying these things out and discovering it, and we can connect the feedback loops, we're going to be able to kind of enter this upward spiral of magical technology where we can actually be in a learning loop where we can make these things at first just be okay, and then be good, and then be great, and then be better than anything you've ever seen. And this year was that was the moment where I was like, oh yeah, this is going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think the video team is in a really cool mode now. And that speaker mode project really pushed us into this mode where I feel like the team is very comfortable now taking on a somewhat ambiguous project. Cause like with any of these AI features, you can't
Makes
just
the thumbnails really good. It's
yeah,
like,
you
oh
can't
God,
just
that's
list
hard.
out all the requirements and all the
No.
steps, and it's just going to like work that way. It's like it's a process of experimentation, trying new things, banging your head against a wall when the AI is not doing the right stuff, figuring out where the AI is not actually good, and you should just like apply some deterministic rules. And the speaker mode clips was a really great project. And then to see how fast the team was able to turn around the auto thumbnail project, I think just shows that like everyone is getting into this mode. And I think we have a big opportunity in Q1 and Q2 of next year to just like keep that momentum going and see what we can do to make these recordings really, really good.
Nice. Yeah, I'll try out one of my crank theories on you, which is related to this, which is because even before we started the live thing, I started like a podcast using normal podcast tools and sort of did some video editing for the first time in my life, trying to figure out how to make this stuff good. And I came away convinced that there's actually a deep commonality between the practice of building great software and making great video, which is that you sort of, there's a mode you have to be in where you sort of have your own human reaction to things, because both, you know, this is all visual, it's all visual media, right? Like a UI that you look at or a video that you look at, it bypasses all of your language processing. It acts kind of like directly on your mind and your experience in a way that's sort of very visceral and immediate. And the ability to use yourself as an instrument and to see the effect that the software, the video is having on you, and then be able to seek to understand your own experience, right? Interrogate, oh, that made me feel like this. Why did that make me feel? What about that made me feel that way? What about that made me confused? What about that was off-putting or exciting or captivating? There's kind of like a skill of sort of observation plus critical thinking that is in common between building great software and building great video. And it's not shocking to me that we can get people who are good at one to see the light on the other.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. All right. Well, Zach, thank you for coming on my Substack.
Yeah, it was fun talking with you, Chris. We'll do this again next year after some new cool features ship. How does that sound?
Can't wait.
All right. Thanks,
Cheers.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone.